The moment Helena pointed toward the rusty park bench and coldly told 16-year-old Maris to leave her mansion forever, the girl felt as though the world had stopped breathing. Standing beside that bench was a homeless man holding the tiny hand of his little daughter, wearing worn-out clothes but carrying a dignity that wealth could never buy. Helena tossed a small bag at Maris's feet, turned her back without a trace of regret, and believed she had erased the last reminder of her late husband from her life. But destiny has a strange way of rewarding kindness and exposing cruelty, and before long, Helena would realize that the greatest mistake she had ever made was giving away the one person who would have changed her own future forever. Before we continue, if you believe kindness can change lives and that everyone deserves a second chance, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who believes in hope, and subscribe to Compassion Tales for more unforgettable stories that touch the heart. The sun hung brightly over the city, but Maris could barely notice its warmth. Only a year earlier, she had lived a peaceful life with her loving father, Rowan, a successful architect who had devoted every spare moment to his daughter after losing his wife when Maris was only a toddler. Rowan had eventually remarried Helena, believing she would become the caring mother Maris had never truly known. Instead, Helena hid her bitterness behind elegant smiles until Rowan unexpectedly passed away after a sudden illness. Once the funeral ended, the mask disappeared completely. Helena inherited the luxurious estate, and although Rowan had left legal instructions to protect his daughter, complicated court delays gave Helena temporary control over everything. She wasted no time making Maris feel like an unwanted stranger inside the home she had grown up in. Every breakfast became an opportunity for humiliation. Every mistake, no matter how small, became another excuse for punishment. Family photographs disappeared from the walls, Rowan's belongings were donated without permission, and Maris's room slowly became nothing more than a storage space for Helena's expensive decorations. Yet despite the endless emotional cruelty, Maris refused to let hatred consume her. She carried her father's words deep inside her heart, remembering that true character is revealed during life's darkest moments. Everything changed on one unforgettable afternoon. Helena drove Maris across town without explanation before stopping near a public park where people rarely notice those living on its edges. Sitting beneath the shade of a large oak tree was a homeless single father named Alden. Beside him sat his 7-year-old daughter, Nia, happily drawing colorful flowers on scraps of recycled paper while her father smiled with quiet pride. Their clothes were worn, but their faces carried peace that money could never purchase. Helena saw only poverty. She looked at Alden as though he were invisible before announcing that Maris was no longer her responsibility. She threw down a small backpack containing a few clothes and walked away without looking back. She believed that abandoning her stepdaughter beside a homeless man would permanently erase her from her life. For several silent seconds, nobody moved. Then Alden stood. He picked up the backpack, looked gently at Maris's tear-filled eyes, and simply asked whether she had eaten that day. That question broke something inside her. Instead of judging her appearance or asking what she could offer, he cared only about whether she was hungry. That evening, Alden shared the little food he and Nia had received from a local shelter. They divided every piece equally, making sure Maris never felt like a burden. As darkness settled across the city, Maris realized that although she had lost her home, she had unexpectedly found genuine compassion. Days became weeks. Maris helped Nia with reading and mathematics beneath the same oak tree every afternoon. She cleaned nearby community gardens in exchange for meals, while Alden worked every temporary construction job he could find. Unknown to most people passing by, Alden had once owned a successful small carpentry business before medical bills following his wife's illness destroyed everything. Debt had taken his home, but it had never taken his integrity. One morning, an elderly woman watched Maris patiently teaching Nia while Alden repaired broken park benches for free. The woman happened to manage a neighborhood education foundation. She saw extraordinary determination inside the three unlikely companions and decided to help. She arranged temporary housing, enrolled Maris back into school, and connected Alden with a non-profit organization that helped skilled workers rebuild their careers. Opportunity met preparation. Within months, Alden was managing restoration projects for historic buildings. His honesty quickly earned respect throughout the community. Maris excelled academically, winning scholarships through relentless hard work rather than privilege. Nia flourished in school, her confidence growing stronger each day because she was surrounded by love instead of fear. Meanwhile, Helena's comfortable world slowly began collapsing. Investigations uncovered financial misconduct involving several business accounts she had secretly manipulated after Rowan's death. Friends disappeared as quickly as her wealth. Expensive parties ended. The mansion became impossible to maintain, and legal battles consumed nearly everything she owned. The very fortune she had protected so selfishly slipped through her fingers one piece at a time. Eventually, Helena learned something that left her completely speechless. The delayed court proceedings had finally concluded. Rowan's estate had always belonged primarily to Maris. Because Maris had disappeared, legal representatives spent months searching for her. When they finally found her living with Alden and Nia, they also discovered overwhelming evidence of Helena's neglect and abandonment. Helena lost nearly every claim she believed she possessed. Months later, Helena stood outside a beautiful community center built with funds donated by Maris after receiving her rightful inheritance. Instead of buying luxury cars or larger homes, Maris had invested in housing programs for struggling single parents and educational scholarships for children facing homelessness. Alden supervised vocational training workshops there, helping others rebuild their lives exactly as someone had once helped rebuild his. Helena expected anger. She expected revenge. Instead, she watched Maris warmly greeting families, laughing with children, and embracing the people who had become her real family. Only then did Helena understand what she had thrown away. She had believed beauty was something seen in a mirror, measured by expensive dresses and elegant appearances. She never realized that the greatest beauty lives inside a compassionate heart. The homeless father she had dismissed as worthless had become one of the community's most respected leaders. The frightened teenager she abandoned had become a young woman changing hundreds of lives. Helena had tried to destroy someone's future. Instead, she had accidentally given that future the freedom to bloom. If this story has touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with your friends and family, leave a comment, and subscribe to Compassion Tales. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that remind the world compassion still exists. Sparkling Heart special request, comment below with the words, "Kindness always finds its way home." As the afternoon sunlight filled the community center with golden light, Maris looked across the playground where children laughed without fear, parents smiled with renewed hope, and Alden and Nia stood together like the family destiny had chosen for her. She finally understood that home is never defined by walls, wealth, or inheritance. Home is built by the people who choose to love you when they have every reason to walk away. And sometimes, the greatest gift life can offer begins with what first appears to be the greatest loss.